Don't know if you can hear me yet. There we are. You've got me back again. We didn't have any audio for a minute then. Sorry. Welcome back. This is our last show of our Saturday afternoon. It's 6 p.m. here in the UK, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. I don't know why I'm telling you the time, because you can tell the time. But anyway, I'm just telling myself so that I know. So I know. Right, we're here with our craft house. We didn't have any craft house music. That's what confused Jan and I. We're here, we're waiting for the music, and it never came. Anyway, I hope it's lovely and you're having a fantastic Saturday wherever you are. We pulled our Johnny away from the football, so we did prep, we prepped completely. He's gonna pedal really fast to see if we can get through a 2-hour show in like an hour. So let's see. There we go. Oh, and then we've got Eurovision. Oh yeah, just as we finish. What a day, what a day. Anyway, it's absolutely fantastic to be here with Craft House. Now, our Craft House has a theme today, and the theme is cute characters. So you're going to see that all the way through, from our cute character stamps and dies, our animals with attitude, we've got our Trifold apertures, we've got our Lee Holland cute characters, and we've got our cute character box card collection, which I think you might have already seen a little bit of. So I've asked Jan to get some really lovely samples out to show you, and now Johnny just said, I'm going to repeat it word for word. Someone else who's cute. Here's our Jan.
He's obviously not got his glasses on either, Corrine. I've been called many things, Johnny, in my life, but I'm not sure cute was one of them. Maybe when I was about 6 months old. But I'll take it. I'll take it while it's on offer. Yeah, great to be back again. Honestly, it's been good to be back in the house today. So what I've done is I've gone through all the bundles that we've got on for you tonight, and I've just pulled a couple of samples out for each of those bundles, which our Corrine will explain in more detail as we go through the show. So we're going to start off again. These were really popular earlier on that first show. So we've got those cute character edgeables. So the idea of these is that they cut onto any edge of your card. So this one, we've got that lovely little accordion card going with the animals sat on top, and the birds and the bees are all from one set, but if you're buying these as a bundle you can mix and match, and that's exactly what we're going to do in the demo. So yeah, I really like the idea of this one. So just using pattern papers inside, but actually popping all those little characters together on that one. Alternatively, you can actually cut them out onto the top of the card. You can just use the stamps on their own. We're actually going to stamp and cut them out to make the animals actual little toppers, so that we can use them as an embellishment. But again, absolutely beautiful. That'd be lovely as a new baby card, wouldn't it? It would. But they've all got their own sentiments with them. So that's our cute characters. And then we've got coming up those lovely little cute character boxes. So these actually fold completely flat once they're made, but they're actually a 4-inch square by 2-inch deep little box card. And the idea with these is that once you open them up, you've got all that gorgeous detail on the inside there, which is done in sort of layers. So you can see that there's sort of dimension in there. So you've got things happening in the foreground and then taking it back a layer and then right into the back. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love the fact that they fold down into that 4x6 size, which will just pop straight into an envelope. So that one's got the little fairy on there. And then the one that I'm going to be demonstrating for you has got these gorgeous little bears on. Real cuteness. So again, just popping them back into shape. You've got that little tiny sort of 4-inch square box, which is a really nice size. And then inside, we've got all those gorgeous little birthday bears, and the sentiments and things in there as well. Just trim them up. You know, they're ideal at this size to use up paper scraps and things like that. So that's the little cute character boxes. We've also got, these were one of my favourites when they were launched. These are the Lee Holland little dragons, and if you like stamping and colouring, I think these are beautiful. They really are. So again, using them in that DL format, using them in a 5x7 format there, just colouring either with alcohol, with watercolour, with your pencils, anything like that. You might want to add sparkle pen to them, you might want to colour them in metallics, lots and lots of scope. And then again, just that sort of slightly narrower one. So that's just a few of the designs available on there tonight for the Lee Holland stamps. We've also got those gorgeous animals with attitude, and it makes me chuckle every time I see these. They really are they've been so well designed that each one of them, when you see them, puts a smile on your face. So again, drink, dance, sleep, repeat, and you've got that going on all the way. This is our Joe tonight. He's having a good old drink ready for the Eurovision. This will be him when we win, and then this will be him later on when he decides to take a snooze. Okay. And then we've got that lovely little elephant in there as well. So again, you know, just as a topper, we're going to do something a bit different with them later with some of these little characters. And then finally, we've got those lovely little trifold cards, which again are a nice size. You've got that 4x6 size again. And again, you've got details that stamp on the front here, this one, and you cut out the aperture. And the trifold comes from the fact that there's an extra layer inside that's also got the aperture to see through, and then it opens to reveal the details in the background. So the little apertures come as metal to cut these out. And again, I've got a demo lined up to show you. Very, very simple to do, but very effective. And again, taking it into a taller card, and using it not necessarily for that same trifold, but we've done it in an accordion style this time. So you can see how those apertures are lined up. The stamps are created to stamp into that aperture shape, and then just using a stencil to create some detail on that one. I think it's really, really cleverly done. So yeah, lots and lots of cuteness coming up over the course of the next couple of hours.
Certainly is, there certainly is. But before we start looking at those in more detail, I want to tell you about this fantastic weekend saver. This is our mystery bag. It's a little bird told me. Everything's bird themed. So in honour of it being World Migratory Bird Day, or is it World Bird Migratory Day? World Migratory Bird Day. What else migrates? I suppose that's also a thing. I thought the bird should go the other way around. Never mind. Anyway, whatever day it is. Everything in here, you've got 7 sets, and all told, these should come to £101 or $120. But you're going to get this today for £30 or $40. And if you are a platinum member, you're going to get it for £24 or $32. Or if you're on the Club Inspire scale, somewhere between that 30 and 24, depending on what level you're at. Now these are the ones that I've shown you already. So if I just show you, which ones was it? It was these two. We worked out that these two alone are valued at more than the value of your bag. So you've got a $19.99 and you've got an $11.99. So straight away you've got the cost of your bag absolutely covered with those two, whatever level you're on. We're then going to throw in as well our gorgeous vintage bird cage, which should be $14.99. So you can see where the value is coming from. We've also got our twirling birds, which we had a look at. Now that is the least value one that you're going to get, and it's still $7.99. So even though I'm saying the least value, it's still a good value of die and stamp set. So those are the ones I've shown you. Should we have a look at one more? Let's have a look. Ooh, I like this one. There we go. This one is your hummingbird. So this again is stamps and dies that are going to cut out everything. Now this one, $16.99. So that is the most expensive one in the bag. So if you add that onto our we've got our birds in bloom, we add it onto our lovebirds, we add it onto our vintage bird cage, with £55 so far, and our twirling birds, we're at about £63. £63 just for those, and there are still 2 more left. I'm not going to show you what, 2 more. We might have a look at those later. But this bag is only available until tomorrow night. Now, a third of the stock of that has already gone, so be quick and make sure you jump in and get that. Now, quickly, before we go on to, Johnny's asked me to go on to the cute characters, I just want to remind everybody, and you'll have seen it on the website, if you spend £30 today, $40, that's after any club discount or anything comes off, you are going to get this free die. It's a multimedia jigsaw die. So just like we've been talking about multimedia dies, it's one of our brown dies, so it goes through your boards, it'll go through your fabrics, it'll go through whatever you need it to go through. And we were talking earlier about maybe creating your own jigsaws, and this is going to work brilliantly with these gorgeous, gorgeous, cute animals. You could be creating a lovely messy background, stamp your animals all over it, cut it out using your die and send it to somebody as a personalised jigsaw. How about that? Now that is yours free as soon as you spend £30, $40 after your discount. So yeah, if you've just got to £30 before your discount, you're going to have to just add in a couple of extra things. But let's get to the most important bits. Cute characters. Let me grab my boards. These are fantastic. Now, I launched them here on Crafters TV, 7th of April. Absolutely flew. On launch day, they sold out of their launch day stock. By the time we came back the next day, we were having to get more stock in of these. So this is I think getting towards the tail end of these. So, you know, this is going to be quick, and we're going to give you the fantastic price with 20%, over 20% off of these. You're going to get all 9 sets. Now, each set should retail at £6.99, which would be £62.91, or where are we? $80.55. So yeah, lots and lots of value, but that price is going to go right down today to £48.93 or £62.95. But look at that platinum price just down there, right down there, £39.14 or $50.36. It is a phenomenal price. So let me show you what you're going to get. You're going to get your Positively Perfect. We are all, most people, I will say, let's correct myself, most people are cat and or dog lovers. I know in the UK we've never had so many people own pets as they do at the moment. I'm a new dog owner and we just love it. How about doing something like this? You can make it personal to the person that you're gifting it to. With me, I'd want a little black dog on there, you know, and if you do somebody with a tabby cat, you know, however you want to do it. I don't know what I'd do for my mum because she's got cats and dogs. So I'd have to try and maybe I could put both on.
Got one of each?
Yeah, put them all on. Put them all on. There we go. Most people will have some. Then we've got our Some Bunny special. All of these, I'm seeing new baby, I'm seeing young birthday, but I'm also seeing Easter on these, and I'm seeing lots and lots of different occasions. Just because they're cutesy though, you can still do adult cards with them. So Some Bunny Loves You is your bunny rabbits and your mice. So for everyone, you're going to get your stamps and you're going to get your dies as well. Now Jan's going to show you how these work, because if you notice, each one of the dies is open at the bottom, and that's very deliberate so that they then pop out over the top or the side, like you saw with those birds and bees going up that zigzag card. But Jan will explain all that to you in a minute. Then you've got your Reach for the Sky. This is super cute. I just love these. The giraffes and the zebras, so lovely. So you've got a stamp that's going to match every die cut, and then you've got all of your extras, your stripes, your hooves, your sentiments. They're all there. You're getting 125 elements in total with this, which is vast. You've then got your an Elephantastic Day, which is your elephants and your hippos, which is lovely. I love this one. I love the water that's coming out of there. I saw a card and they'd done it so that the elephant was on one element and then it moved and the water was in just the right place on the bit behind. Brilliant. So clever. We've got so many clever people in our design team. It's amazing. Then we've got Pride and Joy. Now, you couldn't be scared of those lions and tigers, could you? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, do you notice you've got 2 of each animal and they're all in different poses? So if you look like here, you've got a sort of semi-sitting lion and a lying down lion, sleeping lions. Then you've got a standing tiger and a sitting tiger. So you're going to get 2 different poses for each of the animals. You saw the fantastic make on that zigzag card earlier with the birds and the bees. Again, you're getting the dies, and then you're getting all the stamps just here with all the extra bits that we're going to make it complete. So that's just because You Make Me Happy is our sheep and our cows, which are brilliant, really, really fantastic if you are struggling with your colouring, because you need so little colouring with those. Then we've got our Nuts About You, which is our squirrel and our deer. Those 2 would go brilliant with the scene that you did that won your demo of the show for the last show, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I was also thinking if anybody a little while back bought the, forest, what was the forest collection?
I don't know that one.
Gone. There was a forest collection, wasn't that had all the little, it's escaping me now. Yeah, it had all the little animals in.
Somebody will tell us. Somebody will tell us.
It's gone. I had it earlier.
Right.
Hopefully somebody will tell us. Nature's Garden collection.
Yeah. But you're going to be able to mix and match these with all sorts of collections.
Woodland animals. Thank you, Johnny. Yes, woodland animals.
There we go. Perfect. And then you've got your Otterly Amazing. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? Now, that's that collection. Let's just see who's here with us tonight. So we have got Susie on our socials with us tonight. Good evening, Susie. And then we've got from the UK, we've got Marsha. From America, we've got Pam E, Mary Reno and Christine Mahoney. We've got Suzette from Canada, I think, looking at the flag. Jill B says it's still, I'm not very good at flags. I'm still morning here in Arizona, sneaking a look whilst working, best way. Beth says, good afternoon from upstate New York. Jeffrey Langley says, hello all, it's sunny 90 degrees, 32C here in New Hampshire. I could cope with that. Mary Reno says, I have these, I'm not sure which ones, and the animals with attitude, so it must have been one of the others. Both are terrific. And Meredith says, I ordered both of the animal sets as soon as they came out. So cute. And I think you're going to be able to mix and match them together. Enchanted Craft Fairy says, coloured pencils are great for fine details on cats and dogs. Absolutely. Jan's nodding. Jan's going, yeah, couldn't agree more. Absolutely. So, I think we're going to do a demo with
We sure are, yes. I've got a menagerie going on over here this time.
Brilliant.
A menagerie, yeah. I'll show them all in a second. I'm just going to stamp them out and explain the concept as to how they were actually designed to be an edgeable. But we're actually going to cut them out in total and make them into little individual animals. So I've got You Make Me Happy, and I was just going to do the little sheet because there's not a massive amount of colouring on there, because as you know, the colouring does take a wee bit of time. But this one's got the two little cows on, and they've just got the most cute faces, they really have. I think these are sort of a generic sort of part of your craft kit if you've bought into this, or if you're considering buying tonight. I can't think of a theme that one of these wouldn't be suitable for. Even a sympathy card, I think you could get away with popping maybe, you know, the little sleeping lion on or something like that. Or if the person that you're sending it to is a particular animal lover. You know, there's lots and lots of different, even as a grown-up, I would love these
Animal
on a card.
charities. Perfect for those.
Yeah. So you get the little stamp set with the two different designs on, and then you get extras. I'll call them extras because they're all slightly different. A lot of them have got the little footprints or the hoof prints on. This one's got that lovely cow sort of patch pattern on it, so you can make backgrounds with that. A little bit of grass, and then you've got Just for Moo or You Make Me Happy. All the sentiments are themed as well to do with the animals. And then you get the metal work to cut out each of the four animals. So depending on which pose you choose. And they all stop to work in line with the edge of your card so that you get the animal pop up and then the rest of it, and that's what I'm going to show you. So we're going to take, we'll take the little sheep that's looking at us this way, and I've just popped some cardstock in my stamping platform at the ready, and this is just Nina cardstock that I've used here. I like to use my alcohol markers are my sort of go-to. All right. Now, if these are new to you, this is something I get asked a lot, Corrine. I don't know how you work with this for your crafting, but if these are new, a lot of people I've seen commenting saying that they have trouble getting new stamps to work. And the reason is that when they're manufactured, they've normally got a little coating on them. So there's several ways that you can do it. You can actually use just a cloth and give it a good scrub. You can use a little bit of fine sandpaper and just take that over the top. It won't damage it, but it does take away that residue. What I tend to do is just use my clear watermark ink pad, and I will do nothing to the stamp, but just pop a little bit of this on first, and it acts as a carrier then for your chosen inks. It doesn't damage the rest of the inks, but it acts as a carrier and as a barrier between that little tiny bit of residue that may be on them and your ink pad. So if ever you're starting out with a brand new set of stamps, it's what we call priming the stamp. And you only need to do it that first time. Once you've done it and stamped with it, you should be able to just then go back in with your ink. So
I had some new stamps on a show the other day, and I ran over them with a lint roller. I have a lint roller in my craft bag all the time. So that again, it's a bit like your sandpaper. All it does is it pulls
it just pulls it off, doesn't it? It's something to do with the manufacturing process, yeah. But I got asked it a lot when I was working at the store, when I was teaching at the store, and I still see the question come up on social media a lot. So yeah, it is just a residue that's there. I say you only need to do it that once. Next time I use that now, it will stamp out perfectly like we've got there. So I picked this one purely because it didn't need a massive amount of colouring. So we just need to bring a piece to rest on there, and then I've just picked just the greys really for this one. So I've got the light ice grey blend. So anything that's white, I like to add just a little bit of grey into the mix just to create a little bit of shadow. So where we've got that detail on the stamp, I'm just going to add an extra little bit of that very lightest grey, just to give it a bit of dimension rather than it looking so flat.
You really don't need to do much at all, do you?
Not at all. So like you said earlier, Corrine, it's great, you know, if people are just starting out with their stamping, it's a great one to start with. So where you think there's a little bit of shadow, it's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? So I'm just going to have a look on there as a guideline, and then we're going to go a little bit darker grey, and he's going to have little darker grey ears just in there. And again, whatever your chosen colouring medium is, just be aware of that before you start to stamp. So if you're going to do watercolour, I would recommend the watercolour card, and then you would need our waterproof ink rather than the alcohol-proof one. If you're using coloured pencils, you can get away with either of the finesse stamping inks. All right, and the lady, I don't know who, sorry, I'm not very good at remembering names. The lady that you've just mentioned, Corrine, the pencils are great for adding detail and adding that little bit of extra shading if you want to take your colour into that next step.
That was Enchanted Craft Fairy.
Fantastic,
so yes, absolutely. We've got so many people watching. We've got Panda Craft saying hello from a lovely sunny Doncaster.
Oh, it's not far from me.
Rosalind says hello from a Maryland, cloudy and overcast today. Oh, you need to be in the UK, it's not here. Kathy's from Missouri. Alison Lee saying it's 22 in Chester, gorgeous and sunny. Brenda says, nice to see Jan on our CTV screens again. So there we go, lots of love, Jan. Oh, so does Jane. Val says, hi, Corrine and Jan, looking forward to the show. And yeah, lots. Donna from San Antonio. We've got Flora Lawson. We've got Kimberly. Gosh, we've got Kathy Meyer said, love them, they're so cute. And we've got Alison says, hello again, everyone from Brooklyn, New York. So we've got so many people.
It blows me away as to how many different areas people... We just stood here in the studio with a camera in front of us, and there's people all over tuning in.
Yeah.
It just fascinates me. It
We
really
have
does.
Australia, America, we have Canada, we've got...
Europe.
We had quite a few Europe the other day.
Yeah, amazes me.
Absolutely fantastic. We're so lucky, aren't we, when everybody just tunes in.
So if I wanted to make this on the edge, I'm going to show you how to do that first. If you look at the dies, they've obviously got a gap at the bottom, and they've got a cutting edge right round the centre of that metal work, which allows you to line this up, and you should be able to see the whole of your stamped image inside that piece of metal. So I'm just going to pop that on, and we'll pass that through the machine. So this, as you can see here, would fit perfectly through your Mini.
I like how you've only put one piece of tape on. Because they're open at the bottom, you can distort them quite easily, can't you? If you try and put two pieces, because they squeeze together a little bit, and then they're not going to cut right. Do you see what I mean? You can almost force them into a different position.
What, by adding another piece of tape? Yeah.
So just by putting one on...
Yeah, it doesn't really need it, because it's only just holding it in place.
It's just right.
Yeah. Because obviously the metal does move slightly.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop my sandwich in there to cut him out, and I'll show you, if you were going to pop him on the top of a card, how we'd actually do that, and then what I'm going to do with it to work with the sample we've got to do our demo with. So if it was going to be on the edge of a card, once I'd cut this out and taken away my little bit of tape, you can see how it leaves that lovely little edge, just a white edge. Just roll that away.
Is that how you take your low tack off?
Roll it. I find that it does less damage if you roll it rather than band-aid it.
Yeah, watching you today, I've noticed that.
Just roll it back rather than pulling it, and I find that it does do less. It's the pressure in the Gemini. The tape is only low tack, but the pressure in the Gemini just literally seals it. But you can see there, if I pop this behind it again now, we've just got that lovely little whiteboard around him there, which is really, really sweet. And then if you were going to turn this into a card topper, bring in your scoreboard, and then literally, normally I would put a pencil line on if I was going to do this but I'm just sort of eyeballing this to bring in the score line to either side rather than through your animal. So do this after you've die cut, and then you can literally fold your card, and you've got that little guy sat on the top of the card there.
He looks super cute, doesn't he, just like that?
Now what I'm going to do, I want to make these into little toppers this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip away that excess card up to where the dies actually cut it. Okay. So if you wanted this to be a separate piece on a card, you could actually bring this in now, and you've got him sat on that piece that could be across the bottom of the card. You might want some pattern paper at the back. You might want to create a background with the stamps. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to use the die and cut another piece that's exactly the same. I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape on so that it doesn't fly away. And I just want to cut a second piece because the toppers that I've made, the Nina cardstock is absolutely fabulous for using with your alcohol markers, but it is only, I think it's 160 grams weight. So as far as a little topper's concerned, I just want something a bit more substantial. So this is actually the all-purpose card, and I'm just going to cut the same shape and stick them together basically just to give it a bit more substance. So because I've got that shape here, we can take this one off again, and as I say, if you just roll it back a little bit at a time, it seems to do less damage to the cardstock there, whereas if I pull it off like a band-aid, it sometimes does tug at the card. So
Can
again,
I just ask you a question? Sorry, while you're doing that, Maricel says, when you prime with the clear ink, does it affect the other ink if you are going to add colour with alcohol versus watermark? So what you're saying is, say you've used your alcohol-proof ink on the top, and you've used your clear underneath.
Yep.
Does it dilute the alcohol proofness? I think that's not very good in English. But
not
you know
at
what I'm
all.
saying.
It is just literally like a primer. If you think about painting, and you would prime something like before you started painting, when we work with mixed media, we often use the gesso and then put the colours on top. All it's doing is priming your stamp. It won't affect. If you're using an alcohol-proof ink, it will still work fine with the alcohol pens. If you're using the water-based one, it will still work fine with your water-based colouring medium. So yeah, it doesn't affect, and it doesn't damage the surface of your other ink pad either.
Brilliant.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
it shouldn't cause any problems. You only need a little tiny bit, and it just makes a barrier between that coating and your ink pad. What tends to happen without it is the ink pools on top of the coating,
I've noticed
and you'll
that.
often stamp out and it looks patchy or dotty because it's pooled into little droplets. Just by getting rid of that layer, it alleviates all that. So what I'm going to do now then is just take a little tiny bit of tacky glue, and I'm just going to pop it on that base that I've made. I mean, this is entirely personal. I just want these to be a bit more substantial than the Nina cardstock. So I'm literally going to pop that one on top so that I've got a bit more weight to it now. And then all I'm going to do is take my little snips, and where the die's finished cutting here, I'm just going to carry on with my snips and leave that little white border and carry on. And all you've got to do is just take it round the bottom of the stamp. They're very, very simple shapes. There's nothing too tricky. Leave that border and then just cut until it joins up with the piece that's cut at the other side there. Okay, that one's just been a bit stubborn. There we go. I don't want to chop the edge of him off. All right, so you can see there where we've got that now, and it's a bit more substantial than just the Nina on its own, but we've got that lovely little
How
topper.
gorgeous is that?
So I said I had a menagerie. Are you ready?
Oh, what have we got? Is it a full farmyard? We're going to be singing Old MacDonald
Here we go, look. So we've got little tiger. He's got a little bit of black on his nose. We've got the otter. I've got the deer, the little birdie, the hippo. I wasn't kidding, look. A little bit of everything.
Wow.
There's not all of them there, but a bit of everything, enough for what I wanted to do with my project. They've all been done in the same way. They've all been coloured with my tri-blend markers. I do love my alcohol markers, I must admit, but that is just a preference. They will work with any of your colouring mediums. And, you know, if you're not big into colouring, think about stamping onto a pattern paper. So, for example, if you've got, you know, the little deer, if you've got a brown paper, a brown pattern paper, stamp onto that and cut it out of that, you know, if you're not into the colouring aspect of it. There's always a way around it.
I want to go to your zoo. I want to go to your zoo. Where they've got all those animals.
So what we're going to do then, I've taken that same all-purpose cardstock, and what I've done is I've cut it to 5 by 7. Let me just pop that one back on there so that it doesn't get in with the waste. Okay, so this was originally, oh not quite, 4.5 by 7. And I've just used some of my circle dies at home to cut out a semicircle, and then I've made my matten layer to go on top. Now I was really struggling with all those different colours to find something that I could get my hands on that fit. And I was getting really cross and annoyed, and I thought, right, I'm going to do my own. So all I've done is some inking, and this is the Pumice pigment ink, opaque pigment, and then I've literally gone over it a second time with a stencil just to create my own background. I wanted something very neutral because of all the colours when you see what we're going to do with those animals. So literally just made my own there. So we're going to pop that on as a matten layer.
So, you know, that's the thing. If you can't find what you want, make it yourself.
Yep.
Make it yourself. Perfect.
And I've just put tape over the back because I'd put some little brads through there. So just to help secure those brads in the back, I've put a bit of red line tape, but my tape pen will work for the rest of this. So I'm just going to pop this on as a matte layer, and I'm going to line up the circle there, and if I've done it right, this should just give me a border pretty much all the way around. Let's get that right in the right place.
Jan, while you're doing that, Danny on Facebook says, how do you stop previous cuts embossing your card without new plates every go?
Say that again, sorry.
How do you stop previous cuts embossing your card without
scarring.
new plates
I get
every
asked
go?
this a lot. I call it scarring on the plates, which is the job of the plates to do. Simple way to do it, piece of copier paper. Just pop that on your plate first, particularly if you're using something like Centura Pearl or Miricard, things like that, that really do sort of see the surface. But yeah, just a piece of photocopier paper first. It's so thin that it doesn't make any difference to your combination of plates, and that will actually protect it. The scarring will transfer to the copier paper, and your project should come out nice and clear rather than having to worry about it. The other thing I do as well at home, these are obviously the plates here at the office. You've maybe heard me say before that I keep one of my clear plates clean.
Yes.
So I use one of them to cut into, which gets all the scarring on, and I keep the other one nice and clean, and I just use it as a base. So that way, if I do have a situation where I've got something really nice like that, I've got a clear plate that I can cut into. And then usually when this one's well loved and had enough, this one comes to the top then, and a new clear one goes underneath. But yeah, the photocopier paperwork trick works fine.
I do it all the time. We have our sheets of paper, don't we, with what's going to be on the show. Yeah. And I take them all home with me, and I just use those. Yep. I just rotate them. So I just use used paper, used copier paper.
Anything like that, obviously, just make sure that it's not a newsprint or anything like that, because the ink will transfer off.
I use the white side of it,
So, what I've done then, I've just used some of my circle dies at home to create, and again, this is a layer of all-purpose card with a layer of pattern card over the top. And we're actually going to bring this into here. I want a little bit of this showing, and then this on the front here, and we're going to have all the animals all the way around here.
I can't picture where this is going at all.
Now I've just got a little bit of acetate that I want to pop on here first, and I'll show you what that's going to do when we get closer to the end. So I'm going to trap this underneath the trap this underneath that ring first. So I just want to bring this across fairly central.
It's fascinating to watch other people bring their projects to life.
And then this is going to go over the top and cover that piece up. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of tacky glue for this one, and I just want it on that bottom half, making sure that my wood grain is sort of going in the right orientation. So
this is your mixed media type brain coming into it.
Possibly, yeah. I just like to do something different. It's like, you know, a lot of our dies come with instructions, and if they're not, you've got instructions on the website, or you've got access to us here at CTV. But I like to look at a thing and say, right, what else can I do with it? Yeah, that's what it's designed to do, but what else can I do with it? So again, I'm going to pop that down, little bit of an equal gap either side. And this is actually going to be, if I pop this up now for you, this is going to be my card blank, like so. All right, and then we're going to have our little menagerie of critters all the way around the edge like this. So it doesn't matter where they go. What I was trying to do was get the black and white, the grey and white sort of interspersed with the colour.
And that's a great thing, isn't it? You can place them to make sure you've got the spacing right, because look, you know, you might need to adjust a couple just to get them all fitted in, and then, you know.
So however you want to pop them on, just going to pop them round, fit the little mousey in there. They should be able to fit them all in. I sort of went round at home and worked out that I'd got a gap. So we'll just sort of tweak them
as you go
to fit. That's it. So we're just going to stick those. Now you could put those on foam pads. I'm actually just going to pop a little bit of...
Johnny's a bit worried that you put the tiger next to the rabbit.
I put the tiger next to the rabbit. You don't like that?
He's a bit worried.
Is it lunch?
Yeah.
So who's the tiger not going to be afraid of then?
The cow.
Oh dear. Shall I swap the... You see, now I've got two brown ones together.
That doesn't work now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about if we have them like that? Does that work? Yeah? Oh dear. We can't have our producer Johnny upset. Now then, this one's going to go on there. I've not had the heat tool out yet, Johnny. It is in my bag, but I don't know whether I need it. I daren't not bring it. I daren't not bring it now, bless him. It's...
why have you got... What's special about your
my silent heat gun.
Is it?
They reckon they can't hear it.
Do you just go with your mouth and it works?
It does work. Yeah, they make the noise for me. But I'm not sure, because the one that uses the ink I've already prepped. Oh, shocking.
Is it really silent, or is it just they can't pick it up?
It's very quiet.
Very quiet.
Very quiet. It's a heat tool rather than a heat gun.
Yes.
Yeah, it is slightly different.
Like a hairdryer shape.
Yes. Yeah.
They disperse the heat
slightly differently, yeah. And I do prefer it. It's I find it easier to manage than the directional ones.
Yeah, you see, you're a colorist. I love making flowers, so I need the directional one.
Yeah. A lot of it came from the mixed media, really, because it's ideal for drying sort of different elements within the mixed media.
Yeah, I find that with my heat gun, the long cylindrical ones, if I'm trying to dry papers, I can almost get too much heat there. Where I don't have a hairdryer one, I need to perhaps get myself one of the hairdryer shaped ones, but that's much better if you want a gentle all over heat. Whereas if, like, when I'm doing the flowers with the foam and I want to change the shape of the foam, I want that direct
I do have
heat.
one of the directional ones, but I don't use it very often, I must admit.
It's having the right tool for the right job, isn't it?
It is, fit for purpose.
Yeah.
Right, so those are all stuck down, and then the piece of acetate across the back there, you can just see here. Don't know, it doesn't show up very. You just see it catching the light there. We're actually going to suspend the sentiment so that it looks as if it's floating in the air. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of red line tape right across the centre of that sentiment. And we're just going to suspend that so that, as I say, it looks as if it's floating in the middle of the wreath of animals there. So
I'm not doing my job here. I'm not even looking at comments. I am so enthralled with your card that I'm forgetting to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's like a bit of a challenge as to what can I do different today. But
that is
there we go.
Absolutely beautiful.
So just something different. And as I said, oops-a-daisy, it's not using all of the animals, but there's a good fair few of them in there to play with. You might just want to alternate a couple, but again, just something different for you.
Now, if you buy this collection, you are going to automatically, without any need to do anything else, even if you're a Platinum member, you're going to get your free jigsaw die. So imagine you just using the stamps from this collection, stamp a lovely scene on the background and cut it out with your jigsaw. Everything will work together. Let's have a quick look. So did we say we got, I'm trying to see where we got up to. Val Lloyd is in Southampton. She's really looking forward to the show. We've got Donna from San Antonio saying hello to Jan and Corrine. Alison, hello again from Brooklyn, New York, and Betty from Oklahoma. Mary Reno says, oh my gosh, that little sheep is so cute. Pandacraft says, lovely to see you back, Jan. Hello from Homer, New York, says Doris. Jill B says, these are so fun. Carolyn says, good morning from sunny Phoenix. Oh, we did that one. We've got My Fibro Disney Journey is watching from Barnsley. Pandacraft says, it is lovely, Jan and Corrine. It's such a lovely little crafty community on here too. Totally agree. Rosalind says, top tip, I use all my clear packaging to use as acetate. Just clean them with some acetone and shine them up. Yep, perfect. Mary says, oh my word, that's so adorable, Jan. Panda Craft says, I love this card. You've done it now. Deborah's bought this set, just too sweet. Jane Wilson, such a cute card. Enchanted Craft Fairy says, cute and using red line for the acetate. Yeah. And Panda Craft says, I want to make this. So yeah, absolutely perfect. That's what we're here for. Hopefully we can inspire you to what you can achieve with these things. And as Jan said, it's lovely. Oops, I'm losing my stamps. It's lovely to take them away from the norm and show you something a little bit different. So let's have a quick look. So you've got 9 character sets, so that's 18 animals in total, 36 if you count them doubled up. So you've got your positively perfect, which is your cats and dogs. You get your, oh, where am I? There, going backwards. You've got your cats and dogs as a die, and then you've also got your stamps straight above as well. Then we have got our Sun Bunny Special, which is our little rabbit and mice as well. Same configuration, the 4 dies, all the stamps and all the extras. Reach for the Stars, which is your giraffe and your zebra, which are gorgeous, and you can colour these however you want, whichever medium works for you. We've got your Elephantastic Day, which is lovely with our elephant and our hippo. So again, cut them into your card, cut them above your card, just stamp them directly onto your project. It's entirely up to you. You've got your Pride and Joy, your lions and tigers, which is really lovely. It's that tiger for me. He's the one that does it for me. He is just, I think it's the look, the angle of his head. Then we've got Just Because, which is our lovely birds and bees, which again is going to work so brilliant. We've had bees already today, haven't we? So you know, these are going to work so well. We've got our You Make Me Happy, which is our cows and sheep, and again you've got all those backgrounds and all the extra elements. Nuts About You, which is our deer and squirrel. So yeah, lovely. Build up those pictures, really create some fantastic scenes with these stamps. And finally, you've got your Utterly Amazing. Now, I did whiz through those. You've seen them once before. But if you want these, instead of paying $6.99 per set, you are going to get over 20% discount, and they're dropped down to £48.93. If somebody said to me, 20% off, I'd say bargain. I love that. So $62.95, but if you're a platinum member of our Inspire Club, you're going to get these for £39.14 or $50.36. That is an amazing discount. So after we've looked at that, where are we going next? We are now, yes, I did know this, we're going to the character box cards. Now, this has got a 60% saving on this. So this one is absolutely fantastic. Now, these are normally $9.99 each, and Jan showed you these a few minutes ago. How they make the little boxes, you've got the apertures, and then you've got all of the little animals as well. Now, usually you'll be paying $9.99 per set, so you're going to be paying just shy of £30 or $38 for these. But you're not going to be paying that. You're not going to be paying anything like that. You're going to be paying today $11.98 or $15.51. Now, if you're a platinum member, wowzers, look at that right down here. You're going to pay £9.58. Yeah, we're actually going to pay you for this one. There you go, look at that. You're going to pay £9.58 or $12.43. So you're paying for 3 sets less than what you should be paying for one.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is absolutely crazy.
It's certainly the best time to buy them.
It certainly is. So you are going to get your birthday bears, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the one you showed us, and it was the perspective when you put one at the back, and it really added depth and dimension.
Yeah.
It's so clever. Now, just because you've got this aperture here isn't the only one you can use with the bears. You can swap them around if you want to. We have got our Oceans of Love. I do love this. Look at that lovely little mermaid, the octopus, you've got the turtle, and then you've got the sort of goldfish bowl shaped aperture. But again, imagine if you've got flowers and things like this, you're going to be able to cut that out. I know this is cutting out an aperture, but that piece that you cut away, you're going to be able to use that as a vase for all your flowers that you're going to be cutting out and making elsewhere. Oh, talk about flowers, tune in tomorrow morning, outline floral dies and floral stamps launching. That's all I'm going to say. And then we've got our box filled with glitter. So we've got our fairies, our unicorns, all things fantasy with that lovely sort of fantasy aperture just there. Now, as we said, All of these come with the dies and they come with the stamps as well. Sentiments, backgrounds, embellishments and those key icon figures. So you're going to get all 3 of these, and really there's no catch, you're going to get this for £9.58. If you're a Platinum member and you bought something else that, I don't know, maybe our mystery bag, and you're a Platinum member, so it's dropped it down to £24, so you don't get your free gift, pop this one in, you're going to just go over the £30, and then you're going to get a £30 die on top of that. I mean, that is what I call savvy shopping. That's why I'll be looking. Things like this that are going to really add to your crafty stash, not going to cost you much, but are going to give you even more as well, because that's going to give you your free jigsaw die. That's the way I like to shop. So, Jan, are you going to show us how to make these little boxes? Because I think these are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you know, again, such a simple idea. And when you see how it goes together, really, really straightforward. And again, it's all about interpretation. There's no hard and fast rule about how you have to decorate these. So I've just kept the front fairly simple. So the little balloons are from the stamp set, the sentiment is from the stamp set. And again, great one for scrap busting, with it just being that 4x4 square. And then when we open up, you've got those gorgeous little bears in there. They're just adorable. All right, so it says, yay, it's party time. And just coloured again with my alcoholics. And you can see, if I tilt it forward, that mechanism inside, which is so simple to pop in there, and just gives you that perspective of some in the foreground, and then going back into the design with the balloons right in the background there. Okay, and like I said before, it does fold completely flat. So I got out my enveloper board and just made a standard 6x4 envelope, and literally it will go completely flat. So if you got there, you know, if you like to make your envelopes, you can buy a standard 6x4 envelope anyway, but just using those papers to complement, and it will pop in there. It's fairly obvious when the recipient receives it that it's going to pop back out into shape. And then all I did was the piece that came out of here, the craft card piece that cut out, I've just cut it again in cream, just in case you wanted to write a message on the back. Yeah. If you're sending it to someone, you can actually pop a little note or a greeting on there. You could pop another stamp if you've got a, you know, sort of a verse stamp or anything like that. So I'm going to show you how to pop this together, and honestly, once you see the way it goes, again, very, very straightforward. So in your pack then, you get several items. So I've got birthday bears. So we're going to get the metal work to do the die cutting. So you get your aperture die, which is a different shape for each of the sets. And then you've got the metal to cut out all the little bears, the little presents there, the balloons, all ready to go. Okay? Then you get your stamp set, which has got those gorgeous little bears on there. And again, I've done some of this ahead of time. You can see this little guy here, and I've just coloured again, you no need to ask, with my alcohol pens, and you can see these all ready.
They are super cute. I love the colours that you've picked there. Okay. I love that green. That's a really nice green. So just literally pick them to go with what I was working with. And then I've stamped out the sentiment that says no one deserves a happier birthday than you. And then we've also got, yay, it's party time. So I've got all those little elements ready, because like I said, the colouring does take a little while, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. It's a nice sort of relaxing sort of thing for me to do. Now also in there, you have got your little instruction book as well. So it talks you through, there's different languages in there. We just need the first couple of pages. And the first thing it asks you to do is use the template sheet to trace and cut out the shapes for the box. So you actually get in here 2 sheets that give you the sizes and the shapes for what you need to cut as far as the dies. Now the reason we've done that, rather than add another die in here, because this could have been a metal die, but the metal is the bit that costs the money. So to have added all this in metal work along with this as well would have made a drastic difference to the price. So just by doing it this way, would you?
Yeah, it keeps the price down, and it means that you've got these to use. So what I did was cut these out, and then I've mounted them onto some of that all-purpose card. So they're actually quite a substantial thing rather than just the leaflet, okay? So I've cut them out, and then on the back I wrote the dimensions of what they actually are. So you've got a choice there of whether you want to draw around the template. What I did was literally just cut out with my guillotine the piece of card that measured 6¼ by 4, and then I've scored it at that way 4 and 6 inches, which gives me a little tiny glue tab at this end to play with. Okay, so this is going to be one of the, either the front or the back of the box. This is going to be one of the sides, and then this is our joining tab that we're going to pop some glue on. So that was that one. This one's the front of the box. So again, I've gone with the craft card, and I've done my piece to match, and I've scored it, and again, popped it over here, scored it at 4 1/8 of an inch, and this is the bit that's literally going to fit around here to make your little door. So you can just see on there. All right, so that's that bit sorted. So we've done that bit. And then the last 2 pieces are the strips that go inside. So this is what make that sort of mechanism inside. You can just see those strips inside there that give you that dimension. And again, I've stuck them onto the card. I've wrote my dimensions on the back, and then I've cut them out of the craft card. The scoring's just at 1/2 an inch to make a glue tab to stick it onto the side of the box. You don't have to have the wavy one. I like the fact that this gives a little bit of dimension again, but this one, all I did was cut it a wee bit deeper, and then I've just drawn around that edge with a pencil, and then just cut it with my scissors. So nice and simple. And then you've got those to keep. Keep those in with your dies and your stamps, and you've got them there to keep ready to go. So what we're going to do then, I've done one of the panels. All right, let me just pop those all to one side. So this one is exactly the same. It asks you to cut this one twice. All right, so we've got this one twice. I've done the scoring, and then on the first one I've added a little piece of red line tape onto that glue tab, and I'm just using the narrow 1/8 of an inch just onto the edge here, just so that we've got something to attach together with, okay? And then whenever I'm doing something like that that attaches, I always like to just nick the corners off to make that little tab shape, and then if for any reason anything's not quite straight, you've not got bits poking out where they shouldn't be, there's nothing worse. So we've now got 2 pieces identical, and you can see when these go together like so, that all of a sudden you've got your box shape at the ready. So before we stick them together, we're going to pop the aperture into one of the pieces, and it goes through all this in the instructions. So to create the front section of the box here, like so, we're just going to pop that aperture in. Now you can do that twice, or you can actually pop, because I'm using my Gemini, I can put my pattern paper on and then cut through both layers, which is what we're going to do. So again, just with the tape runner, I'm just going to attach that to the front section, and it doesn't matter which one you use, whether you use the first one you cut or the second one, because at the moment they're identical.
So have you just edged that card with one of your alcohol pens? Just
this one?
Yeah.
It's just got a little bit of ink round it.
It just makes it look like you've done extra layers.
When you get to know me, Corrine, you'll know that everything has a layer of ink round it.
Does it? Okay.
It's just something that's become habit now.
Is it?
And it's one of those things that if you're using a paper from a paper pad like these that have a white core,
I totally agree.
if I'm sticking onto white card, I'm not too worried. But when I'm working with craft card, I don't like to see the little white edge around the paper. It's just an OCD thing. So yeah, all the pieces have just got a little tiny bit of ink round them just to sort of finish them off.
Totally get that one, yeah.
And then we're going to pop that aperture and cut through both pieces together. So again, I'm just going to stick it in place with a little bit of tape, and it's going to cut the centre out. So I'm going to put my tape towards that centre piece rather than on the outside. Whoops. So one here, and then we'll pass that through the Gemini. So because we're just working with a smaller piece, I can pop that on those junior plates, and we'll pop that through our Gemini there just to cut that out.
Absolutely perfect. We have got so many people loving this. Flora says, and I think I'm going to just change one of the 7 wonders of the world in craft is Crafter's Companion.
Oh wow, that's very nice.
Laurie says hello from Wisconsin. Thank you. Mary really says, Love it, Jan, makes me think of Noah's Ark. Oh, Maricel says she loves hearing us chatting about crafting. She's learning a lot. Oh, I love this one. Anne on Facebook says, the circle of life.
Oh, wow, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know?
Pantocraft says, Jan, you always make us want to buy. I didn't think I wanted these as I have twirling animals and animals with attitude. Then you go and do a demo like that.
Oh, bless you.
And blimey, For Holiday Design said, oops, good afternoon from sunny Florida. She's fed the boys. I don't know who the boys are. Are they animals or humans? I'm not quite sure. She's posted a video, did the dishes, and now she can sit and relax with all of us. So that's great. Enchanted Craft Fairy said, this is adorable, agreed. This is such a cute collection. Can't believe the fabulous price, says Mary. That's a fab card. Just received my collection. Can't wait to use it. Oh, Enchanted Craft Fairy, she's liking the one you're doing. This is so sweet and can be folded to be mailed. Flora says, I have a chronic problem. When I see something from this channel, I want everything.
You are not alone. You're in good company.
She says, if you have A3 card, can you make the box part out of one of the 4-inch strips? A3 card, I'm sure.
Let me just stick that piece down.
If you have, instead of doing it in one piece, go all the way round?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, if you've got a 12-inch strip, let me just have a look. These are actually 6 1/4. So you've got a slight bit over your 12 inches, haven't you?
But you'd lose
you've got
one of
4,
your
8,
quarters.
10, 12. You've got 12.5 inches
You'd only need 12 1/4, wouldn't you? Because you'd lose one of your tabs.
Yeah.
So
but what you could do is cut a separate little hinge.
Yeah.
Just a 1/2 inch strip and score it at 1/4 inch and literally just stick the hinge inside to pop it all together. But yeah, that way you'd get 3 out of a piece of the cardstock, I think, wouldn't you, that way?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Crafty Southpaw says, hiya from a cloudy Montana. So glad to catch a live show. Hello to Corrine and Jan and all the Crafters TV crew and community. Absolutely love watching all of Jan's demos. She is an awesome teacher. A3 is bigger than 12 inches, isn't it? We didn't mention, we went straight to 12 by 12. In our head, we were 12 by 12
12, but A3 is, yeah,
bigger.
it's like is it 16.5, I think?
Yes, yes, of course you can.
Absolutely.
Easily. Absolutely.
Right, yeah. So all I've done then is I've taken the second piece and popped a piece of paper in the back of there, and then I've taken my liner off that tab, and literally all I'm going to do is line up the front against the score line there on that second piece. All right, so leave the score line showing because you still want it to fold. If you stick this piece over the score line, it's not going to fold as readily. And then once that's in place, I'm just going to burnish that down so that we know that we're good to go. So you can see this coming together now. This one's going to stick at this side. Now you can either take it round the back if you wish, so that it's not showing, or you can pop it on the inside. Now I've done exactly the same here as what I did at home. Ideally it would make sense to stick that bit in before you stick your paper down, but I'm not too worried about it. But before we do that, we're going to have a look at these pieces that fit inside. So I'm literally going to go with the curved one towards the back and the straight one at the front. So what I'm going to do is take off the liner on one side. And these are a little bit, if you've made pop-up boxes before, with the ones again that fold flat and pop up where you put, this is the same principle as the pieces that go in the pop-up boxes. So we're literally going to have them come from one side to the other. So all I'm going to do is pop my tab face down with the glue towards the front there, and just high enough up that it's sort of concealed behind here. Yep. And then the second one, we're going to do the same, taking that left-hand side piece of liner off. I'm going to fold that one, and I'm going to stick this one sort of in the gap so that we've got them more or less central and a little bit higher up this time, so that this one shows. So you can see here that we've got those two, and then when we fold them back across, these are going to now attach to this side when we're closed and we're ready.
You're a very neat crafter, aren't you? Your table and everything around you.
You should see me at home.
Should I? Okay.
This is my work mode.
You're in work mode.
You should see my craft room at home. It always looks as if there's been a hurricane through it.
Oh, apparently John loves it when you're in because it's all clean and tidy. Yeah, I wasn't yesterday. I was doing a craft along and I had card and everything everywhere.
So all I'm going to do now then is pop that one, and again, if you want to do that before you put your pattern paper in, you're not going to see that join where the tab is at the back, but I'm not too worried. And then we can take the liner off the pieces that we've got inside here now, so these ones. Take the liner off these. Oops, that one doesn't want to come away. There we go. And then we're going to stick those at the other side. So again, that back one, just pop them inside. The back one's going to go level with the one on the other side, and you'll find that it just naturally finds its place.
Yeah.
If you just stretch them across, because they're the right width, you'll see that it just sort of finds where it wants to sit, and you've got that sort of 2 layers there inside. And then once you're happy with those, make sure that they're actually stuck down on both sides there, because you don't want those coming adrift. And you can see now that we've got that platform there to start popping our little bears inside. Okay, so we'll do the bears after we've done the actual box. So the second piece that we cut had the 4-inch square and then the just over 1/2 inch on this side. And again, I've just made a nice little topper out of the scraps that were left from the inside. And these papers are just, I'm still scrap busting. I started this at the beginning of last year, Corrine.
Oh, did
and
you?
I vowed last year, one of my resolutions was to start and use up some of the scraps. You know, when you've cut into a piece and there's always that piece left. And I've got hundreds and hundreds in a box.
Oh, have you?
And I'm still going through them. So I'm not quite sure where this paper's from. I think it's from an old collection. But I am still working my way through. So this one's going to go on here. So again, I've just popped my tape on the inside ready. Now I said with a lot of these that I tended to miter the edges. Because this one's actually going to go and wrap straight around and it's the same width, I'm not too worried about that one. I'm going to leave it as it is. So again, just to take that liner off the tape there. Line this up with the front so that you've got that nice closure, and then this one will just wrap nicely around that side. So that is your box, and it folds completely flat. Whichever way you want to go with it, it should fold flat and then pops into place. Open the door and you've got that ready to dress with those little bears. Now I wanted to just decorate the edges as well, so again I've used a little bit of scrap card that was left over, and I've just popped it through an embossing folder to give it a bit of texture, and then added some ink over the top of it. And I'm actually going to bring my wet glue for that one. Just because we're sticking craft card to craft card, it is quite a fibrous card, and the wet glue will sort of seep into that.
Oh, do you find that better, do you?
Yeah, especially when you've embossed something, because obviously you've got an uneven surface. You've got the debossing on the back of here as well. So the wet glue will seep into those little grooves in there.
I've got some Carlisle glue, and I don't know if I've actually ever even used it yet.
Oh, you're missing out, Corrine. It's my favourite wet glue ever, yes. Yes.
So how do you decide? What's your criteria?
Do you know, I have different glues for different purposes. My husband's like, why do you need so many different glues? And again, I'm always talking about things being fit for purpose. One of the main things that I use my all-purpose glue is if I'm fastening a printed pattern paper to a card. I always used to get, when I first started crafting, that ruttling in the paper.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. Even running it through your Gemini, it just puts folds in your card. It's not easy to get rid of. And the reason why is because I was using a PVA glue, which has got a water base to it. And the water seeps into the fibres of your card, it ruttles it, and it is near on impossible to get it flat again. This is solvent based, so there's no water in it, which means it doesn't do that.
Right.
So you get a really nice smooth finish. So anything that's paper to card, card to card like that, I would always go with my all-purpose if I'm using a wet glue.
But if it's got a coating, such as your glitters or your mirrors?
Again, it depends what you're sticking to. If you're going on to mirror card, I nearly always use tape. So whether it be the tape runner or an ordinary double-sided tape. It's purely because the solvent glue can damage a shiny surface.
Right, yeah.
And then the tacky glue is great. You know, like we did the owl earlier with all the different fabrics and different textures. The tacky glue will stick wood, it will stick plastic embellishments, it will stick, you know, the rhinestones and things like that. It's really good for sticking anything that's not cardstock together. Ribbons on things. anything like that. And then, as I say, the tape runner, this will pretty much, you know, it's construction weight, so even making boxes and things, it's fine for using on there. And then my 3D gel, if I'm decoupaging or anything like that, I like to use the gel so that I can shape my decoupage so that it's not just flat stacked. But again, it's a personal thing. So all I'm going to do now then is just use these decorations. So I've got the one to go on the front here, and I'm just watching the time again, I don't know where it goes. So this one, and then one of those sets of balloons I was going to pop on the front. You don't need a lot of decoration on the front because you want them to enjoy that detail inside there. So again, we're just going to pop a little bit on the front there. Okay. And then inside, when we open this up, now you can decorate this side as well. I haven't done with mine, but there's no reason why not. So we're going to have this little guy. We want a bit of glue on that side and the bottom. And he's going to go right on the very front here.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
So we've got that dimension. And again, this is tacky glue in the little dispenser. So just takes a second or two to grab and hold that in place, and then that one's ready. And then we're going to have this little guy who's celebrating is going to go on that first layer back. He's got his hands in the air because he's been invited to the party. So he's going to go here on this second layer. So that was the straight piece that we put in. And then we've got this one, he's more interested in the cake, look. He's not interested in what's going on. He's seen the cake and that's it, he's off for the cake. So again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the bottom here.
Are you modelling him on a certain young man that you know in your life?
Maybe. Maybe. It's all about the cake. Bless him. He's just discovered pretend play. And he's got a little tea set. And it's got little cups and saucers and plates in, and then he's got a little pretend cake. It's very, very clever. It's in 4 pieces, and it's got Velcro.
Ah, yes, yes.
So you can cut it, and it comes apart. So we're having slices of cake, his cups of tea, and don't forget to blow the tea, Nanny, because it's hot. And he's like this, he doesn't blow properly. Like this on it, honestly. I've drank more pretend cups of tea and cake this week than I know what to do with. But honestly, he is absolutely adorable. So yeah, he loves anything to do with cake. Apparently his dad had asked him what he wanted for dinner today, because Mummy's at work and Daddy's looking after him today because I was working, and he decided he wanted to go to the cafe for dinner. 2-year-old, and he wants to go to the cafe. Yeah. So again, we're just going to pop the rest of those in the back. So we've got something on each of those little layers. I'm going to put the balloons right on that back piece in the corner.
I love the colours.
And then that last little sentiment, yay, it's party time, is going to go in the back there as well.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely.
So there we go.
Gorgeous.
You can see the box itself was so easy to put together, just those 2 little tabs to stick it together. You've got the front little door that opens, you've got those little bears having their party inside, and then the fact that it folds flat and it will fit in your envelope, whether you want to make your own envelope or whether you want to choose a shop bought 6x4, it will all pop in there and you've got it flat to deliver.
Absolutely
Super.
Perfect. I don't think we could ask for more. That is brilliant. 4 Holidays Design says, I love watching Jan, not just all the awesome teaching, but I'm always motivated to use the crafty card afterwards. And Anne from Twin Cities says, so I've placed another order, but it's worth it for the free puzzle die. I started several cards to use up my scraps, but I'm taking a break from that now to make a teddy bear. There you go. I love it, how the different crafts that we're doing. Now, 30% of this stock is gone. I'm not surprised. Look at that price. Look at the price down there. £11.98, $15.54. If you are a platinum member, that's going to go down to £9.58. Not for one, all 3 sets. You're going to get all 3 sets for £9.58 or £12.43 if you're a platinum member. And remember, these sets, when they launch, were £9.99 each. So you've got the birthday bears, which is the one that you've just seen our lovely Jan using there. How different do they look? We've got darker brown teddy bears where you use the sort of paler one. Absolutely fantastic. Then you have got your Oceans of Love, all things water themed, our mermaids, our turtle and octopus, everything under the water, going to look fantastic. And then the third set is our box filled with glitter, everything fantasy. Who doesn't love a little bit of fantasy? Our unicorn, our fairies, the toadstool. Look at those butterflies. And remember, you can take these elements outside of these cards if you wanted. I'm looking at these little butterflies and thinking of the decorative gatefold card you did right at the very beginning this morning at 11 o'clock. And those could be the butterflies you used on that.
Or mixing and matching with those pop-out scene dies, Corrine. They would work beautifully with those, wouldn't they?
So you've just got to remember all of these. Don't just put them in a box and go box card. You know, they are absolutely, they're just going to add to your crafty stash, and they are going to be so super useful. Oh, Deborah says Jan is the box making queen. There we go.
Thank you.
And yeah, so perfect, says Gail. Marina, such an adorable box card. What a precious story about your grandson. And Enchanted Craft Fairy says amazing price. We could not agree more. Now, to get that amazing price, that £9.58, you need to be in our Club Inspire. Club Inspire Platinum members are going to get it for that price. If you're not in the Club Inspire, you're going to get it for £11.98. If you're on that ladder somewhere, you're going to get it somewhere between those two prices. So let's have a look a bit about the Club Inspire. Find out how you could be getting it today for £9.58, especially if this is your first order.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Wow, where is this show going? It is whizzing past today. We're going to be at 8 o'clock before you know it. Anyway, before we get to that, we're going to have a quick look at these animals with attitude. These launched, 1st of April, not long ago, and I remember coming in the next day and they had sold out on the launch show. Didn't even make the whole launch day. Our launch stock was gone on that very first show, because you are loving these. You are loving the feel of them, the attitude that you're seeing with these animals. So the first one we've got is Great Minds Drink Alike. Sorry about that. We've got our gorgeous panda. Look at this. Drink, dance, sleep, repeat. Drink, dance, sleep, repeat. How perfect is that? Absolutely. Do you know somebody who loves to have a good time? How about doing that? Or is there somebody that's a bit more of this in your life? That would have been my son in his teenage years. I can't say that now because he's running a marathon next week, but you know, in his teenage years, that was my son. You know, how about that? That would have been absolutely perfect. I wouldn't necessarily have put the other two with him. I'd have just sent him that. That's what you want to do. Pick one of these. Which characteristics are compatible with the person that you're sending the project to. Now these should be $4.99 a set, and you're going to get 8 sets, but we're going to give you 25% discount off these, and you're going to get them all today for £29.94 or $41.70. You're also going to get your Simply Wild About You. Look at the cool dude here with his glasses. I love it. I think it's the tongue as well, really just does that for me. Absolutely fantastic. You get the 3 zebras on there. Then you get the Reach for the Sky. Is this the one you're using in your next demo? Yes. I thought you said you got one of these. Are you having a giraffe? There you go. Absolutely hilarious. I love this. Again, he's got his tongue out. He's got his sunglasses. Absolutely gorgeous. Another birthday. You could use that with any of these sets. Then we have our huge birthday wishes. And again, as we were saying earlier, this one's very Valentine's, anniversary. It's got that romance to it, absolutely perfect. There seems to be a lot of animals asleep. I don't know where that's coming from. That's, like I say, our huge birthday wishes. The next one, we've got sloth mode on. I mean, sloths are so on trend, aren't they? So if I just turn that one, you can see those ones go that way as well. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love you've got all of the sentiments as well as all of the extra little bits and pieces. Then we've got camel kisses and wishes, which is perfect. You've got your 3 different camels in there, and then all your sentiments. Then we have your I'll Stand By You, which is your flamingo. That's where you used very first thing this morning, wasn't it, Jan? Our flamingo. Jan showed us a lovely way to colour them, how simple it is to just add all the extra highlights in if you want to. And then we're going to say you are a llama fun. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. Llamas on roller skates. Did you ever see llamas on roller skates? So many people love their llamas. So how about... No problema. No problema. Absolutely perfect. Colour these how you want. Is it a white llama? Is it a black llama? Or something in between. Absolutely fantastic. And you're going to get all sets of those, as I was saying, today for $29.94, $41.70. Wow, look at the platinum price right down there, £23.95 or £23.95 or $33.36, which is a phenomenal price. So I think we need you to inspire and show everybody why they need to buy these sets as well as all of the other ones that they've already bought today.
Right, we're going to go for something a bit different again. So I'm actually going to make a little wall plaque this time, a name plaque. I'll let you guess whose name's going to be on it. But we're going to use the Reach for the Sky, and I just love these guys, I really do. I think they're great. But when you look, these are not true to size. When you look at the stamps, they are a good size stamp to make a focal point on a project. So you've got Stand Tall and Shine, Be Brave, Stick Your Neck Out, Are You Having a Giraffe? I love that one. It's Been Too Long, Another Birthday, and Reach for the Sky. All right, so I'm actually going to take both of these. I like both of the giraffes, and we're going to use both of them on our project. So again, just using that stamp platform. If you don't have a stamp platform, they're available. Have we got them in stock, producer Johnny? Yep. So we've got them on the website, and if not, you know, your rocker blocks, your acrylic blocks, whatever you choose to stamp with, just turn them round so that they fit on there with room to cut them out. And again, pick them up, and then we're going to use that stamping ink again.
There's not too many fiddly bits on these at all if you do want to cut them out,
To fussy cut, which is what we're going to do, yeah. There's some nice shapes. They're not, like you said, they're not too fiddly.
No.
These don't come with corresponding dies, but they are fairly simple to cut around with your little scissors.
You would be getting 8 sets for £30 or under £30 if they had the stamp, if they had the dies as well. And like you say, they're really reasonably shaped ones.
So plenty of pressure there. And then I'm just going to ink over his glasses again, because I want those to be nice and sort of solid in the back there.
They'd look good with your glossy highlights on, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. Well, the ones that I've already done, I actually stamped and embossed.
All right,
so it's made the glasses shiny. So I just stamped them in the black ink and then put the clear embossing powder over the top. But just for speed, bearing in mind we're already on 7:20, I'm just going to show you where I've headed with these. So I've actually chosen for the giraffe, I've used the tan blend for the body, the lighter colour, and then I've used the earth brown for the patches. And again, I've got them done, so I'm not going to do a lot of colouring. We'll go on the little one here. But again, the same again. I always like to go with the light one first, and just saturate the area that you're working in with that light colour. Not too much at once. As I say, work through the areas in sections, because you don't want that alcohol to evaporate too quickly and it dry. And then I jump from the light to the opposite end, to the dark, okay, and add where I think that shading's going to be. And then you're going to blend them in with the medium tone. So again, don't go over the top of the dark, otherwise all it will do is start and bleach it out. A lighter colour will bleach out a darker colour. So you're just sort of nudging up to the edge of that darker shade and just blending it into the next one. And then back to that lightest one that you started off with, and then finish that blend. And then let it dry. Don't look at it and think, oh, I'm not quite happy with that. It doesn't quite look right. Let it dry. That alcohol needs to evaporate to create the lighter. It will dry slightly lighter than what you've already got going on. So again, I'm just doing this really quickly. There's lots of techniques on colouring on our Colour Me Happy shows. We spend a lot more time with the colouring mediums on there. So if you are wanting tips on colouring with either alcohol or watercolours, or your chosen mediums, have a look back through those Colour Me Happy shows, and there are much more tips on there.
And we've got our Academy of Colour, and I think
absolutely, yeah.
The second class 3 is going to be fairly soon. I have seen hints and tips, so keep your eyes peeled for that one, because that's not going to be that far away. And we'll cover all these sorts of things. Leanne is absolutely amazing, isn't she, with her colouring?
She is. I learnt a lot of what I know from Leanne. I hold her in great admiration. She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of training with Leanne when we started, and she went through Spectrum Noir within an inch of its life. And if you watch the experts, we all colour. I know when Sarah colours, she likes to start with the dark and work her way back through the medium and the light. We all do it slightly differently, but the end product is always the same idea. So again, just carry on with that. Bring in the darker one. So the earth brown, I've gone in to do the little patches, so that you've got a bit of a contrast there. So again, take your time. This is something, colouring should be fun and enjoyable. If you find it a chore, then maybe the colouring aspect of it's not for you. And like I said, the alternative to that is to find a suitable piece of scrap pattern paper that's got maybe the right colour in the background, and stamp it onto pattern paper. But when they're coloured in, you can see here, we've got him, he's the shorter one. And then I love this dude with his tongue out and his sunglasses on. That's the bigger one. So those are done at the ready. And all I've done is use my little snips again. And literally, I just cut about sort of a 1/16 of an inch away from the line art. And the reason I like to do that is so that I don't have an accident and snip in to the actual artwork. So it just leaves that nice little border around it there, so that it stands out on what you're doing. So this was the bit where the heat tool would have come in, Producer Johnny, but I've already done it at home. So I've just got some layers going on. Again, craft card in the background, and I've stuck 2 layers together. Because this is going to be like a little wall plaque, I wanted it to be reasonably solid. Then I've chosen some matte mirror card in the turquoise colour. Ignore this bit because this is where my frame...
Did you need it?
Waste not, want not. So the frames come out of there that we're going to use. And then this was the bit that I did with the heat tool. So you've seen me do this quite often where I literally pop the ink on the mat, mop it up, all right, and this was actually the turquoise shades of the pigment inks again. And that's just going to sit over the top like so. So I'm going to I've popped, because this has had heat on it, the card will straighten again. You can always manipulate it back into place, but I always like to use a bit of the red line when it's had any sort of water and heat on it.
So
it can sometimes warp the card a little bit, and the red line tape is absolutely excellent for making sure that it stays in place. All right, so again, we're just going to take those pieces off. Okie dokes, and then I'm going to line that one on top. I've just popped a couple of gems in that top corner there, so we're just going to leave a little border all the way around there, and then pop that one onto the background. So that's going to be my plaque. Okay, and then I've just got a little bit of scrap, and this was a grey colour, and I wanted it to tone in, so I've just used a bit of the ink on it again, and then we're going to create our frame on the edge here. But before we do that, we're going to have these guys as if they've been having their photo took, and they're actually peeking out of the frame here. All right, so the reason I've not stuck it down was because I wanted to sort of pop those in and around it. So I'm going to pop this piece onto, and because I've used the ink again, I've gone back to the wet glue. So even though all the ink's dry, it's a different medium. So just using that wet glue is going to ensure that this stays in place. So that's going to go flat. But what I want to do is have these sort of peeking out of the frame. So I'm going to pop him like so, and this one like so. So what I'm going to do is use, and again, flicking glues, I'm going to pop a little bit of the tacky glue under there to stick him down, and a little bit under there to stick him down.
So that they effectively become one piece? Almost.
Yes, I'm going to trim the bottom. Oh, that's a bit too much glue there. Jan, I got a bit giddy there.
You need your cloth.
I've got my Mayo technique going on there. So the old cloth comes out and just mop it away. Okay. And then again, I just want to tack his ear down. A little tiny bit of glue. Jan, remember your own advice. Less is more. Okay. And then again, we'll just tack him just in that corner there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is trim. They're going to have a little bit of a trim, because I don't want them sticking out of the bottom there. All right, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim off level with the bottom of the frame there, so it looks as if they're inside the frame.
Absolutely perfect, yeah.
So then these are going to go on here. Now again, you know, you could raise that up on foam if you wish. I'm going to keep it flat. Oh, I was more organised than I thought. Look, I've got that at the ready.
I do that, you know, because we prep days in advance. You sometimes
gosh, yeah,
forget.
I did these sort of earlier on in the week, and like sometimes you forget that you've gone so far. It would have made sense to stick the giraffes to the back of there, wouldn't it? See, I'll just pop them on them three sides, it'll be fine. So he's going to go, I just wanted, when I popped it over the background with the ink on, it was a bit too busy behind the giraffes.
But that really makes it look like a window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By doing it like that.
Yeah, I've just moved him a little tiny bit.
We are getting some lovely comments. Deborah Bamford says, hi again everyone, still quite warm and sunny here in Lancashire. Been watching Jan's box demo while having tea. Diet says, I really like the giraffe one. Anne from the Twin Cities said, I got together with some former co-workers a couple of weeks ago and made each of them a birthday card with a balloon sloth, a panda and a llama on the front, and the giraffe with the glasses inside.
Yeah.
And Michael Chapman says, Jan and Corrine make a fantastic team. Oh, thank you, Michael. They are both an encyclopedia of crafting knowledge. Well, that's very kind of you to say. And Flora says, I love the cool giraffe. He is very cool, isn't he?
So again, if you want it to be a wall hanging, you could just pop that piece of ribbon on the back. So I'm going to leave that off for now, but just to pop it on the back. And then, have you guessed who it's going to be for then?
I think we can
I think
work that
you
one
all
out.
know where I'm going, don't you? Okay, and this is just some of the alphabet letters out of my stash here. And I've gone for some different colours there, just to tone in with it. And this is going to be for my little
They
Toby.
fit absolutely
Okay.
perfectly, don't they?
So
Does he have a
again,
bedroom at your house?
he does. It's not kitted out totally for him. It is actually our spare room, but he does sleep in there. He's got one or two of his things in there for when he goes, because he still has a nap. Sometimes he does, sometimes he thinks he doesn't need one. It depends, but he does occasionally still have a nap during the day. So he goes up and sleeps. He likes to sleep in the big bed, he calls it, because it's got a double bed in there. So he likes to sleep in the big bed. And he's got one or two of his bits and pieces in there. So
If you put this on the door, then he'll definitely just think it's his bedroom, won't
Well,
he?
they've just moved house, and he's got a whole new room now, which he's loving. So it may be that it could be utilised in there. I don't know yet, but he'll love the giraffes on there. He loves all the different animals.
Absolutely.
He likes
perfect.
we go to the aquarium in Hull, the Deep. We have a big aquarium in the northeast, in the east coast. Oh, and he absolutely loves it there. Talks about things. So big shark, Nanny. It was very scary.
I think my grandsons go over there quite.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That
and then
is
just
lovely.
for a little bit of extra decoration, because I wanted a little bit of embellishment, I've got a couple of little stars just to pop on that side
And
there.
I love how you break the lines up. You don't have the harsh lines. You've broken the frame up, and now you're putting the stars on again.
Yeah, just to
Breaking
sort
up.
of finish off and balance it out. And again,
It's
just
not overcomplicated at all, but it
not
looks
really. I mean, it was just showcasing those stamps, really.
Yeah.
You know, it could have just as easily have been the front of a card. So let's just move away some of all the gubbins there. And as I say, if you want to pop the little ribbon, I would just stick that on the back with some tape there if you wanted to make it a hanging plaque, or it could just be a door plaque as it is. But yeah, I'm going to take that one. Well, depends. If it wins, I might have to leave it here. I'll have to take a photo of it once and then recreate it at home.
Absolutely love that. Now, if you want all 8 sets of your Animals with Attitudes, you're going to get those today for £29.94 or $41.70. Now, are we going to get the next demo in before we do... Right, we're going to go really quickly before we do demo of the show, because we've got demo of the show and demo of the day. So this is another collection that we have today with those cute animals, and this is your trifold apertures, and you're going to get your stamps and dies, and you're going to get all 68 elements on that, and it says elephants, and you're also going to get 25 sheets of 6 by 12 inch card. 6 by 12 inch card, perfect for your 6 by 6 inch card blanks, obviously. So here we have, just excuse me, that one fell off. We need to come up with a way to stick these on, because it doesn't work very well. I don't know why. Right, I put that onto there. So these are your trifold cards. So what you do is you fold, if you want to, and I'm sure Jan is going to show us something completely different that isn't a trifold to use up these. And then you can use your 3 folds. So when you open it up, you've got the little bunny breaking that aperture on the front here. Then you've got another bunny breaking the aperture there. And then on the 3rd layer, you've got the present. So they all work with the same concept. So when you get your apertures, instead of being a perfect square, you've got the shape here that these stamps are then going to line up perfectly. So if I show you here, can you see? That little rabbit lines up perfectly with that one, and oh, that's upside down back to front and 3 ways round. That one lines up perfectly. That someone's stuck it on in a funny configuration. So there is your birthday bunny. Then we've got our You Mean So Much, which is the lovely elephants. And again, you've got the trifold, so you've got the one elephant looking at the other elephant with the lovely little butterfly in the middle, and you've got the perfect apertures to fit your stamps just there. These are super cute. Then you've got You Have My Heart, which is our owls, or our owls. And again, look at you can see all of the detail in there. The next one you've got is You've Been On My Mind, which is perfect, which is butterflies. That's really tranquil, that one. That's a lovely, that feels really calm, and maybe that's going to be a thinking of you card, or a sympathy card, or a just because card. There's something calm and graceful, isn't there, about that? Then we have our, what's this one called? Peeking In to Say Hello. Look at this, absolutely gorgeous. You've got the the hanging basket on that side. You've got the little kitten on that side with the plant and the heart in the middle. And then finally, oh, you've got to love this. And then you can colour this whichever shade or type of dog you want. You've got the dog on the one, the next dog on the other. They're having that lovely conversation because there is the speech bubble. And we're going to give you all the lovely, you're my best buddy, lucky to have you, I've missed you so much, all of those lovely sentiments to go in there. Now, these should normally be $9.99 each, so you would normally pay $69.93, but not today. You're going to pay $48.95 or $63.43. Look at that platinum price down there, £39.16, $50.76. $39.16 means you're always going to get your free jigsaw die if that's what you are ordering today. So quickly, if we can hopefully do that, then we can do 2 votes. Jan's going to do us a lovely demo using these, and then we can vote for our cards.
And I am actually going to keep this one as the concept was intended.
Are you? Oh,
so yeah, you
Jan.
sort of bigged me up there,
You led me into false.
I am actually going to
false
keep this as just to show you what the concept was designed to do with that trifold. So with this range, we brought out this lovely 12 by 6 card, which is what we need for this. If I open this out, you can see here that I've taken my piece of cardstock, 12 inches long, and I've just scored it at 4 inches and 8 inches. Now, it does explain all this. Again, this set does have a little set of instructions in with it as well. So it tells you to take your piece of 12 by 6 and score it at the ready, and then decide where you want to go with it from there. So that's the cardstock itself.
I love how you've got everything, card blanks, everything.
Yep. So just by scoring it like that, then you've got that right-hand side piece folds in, and then the left-hand side over the top to make the normal sort of as you would open a card, but you've got that extra layer inside. Okay, now we're going to cut. If you look at the apertures, I've got the You Mean So Much to Me, which has got these gorgeous little elephants in. So we're going to have a play with those ones tonight. And the apertures have got the elephant's trunk so that you can stamp in and line them up if you want to stamp directly onto the card itself. Now, in this case, on the front, I'm actually, because I've got a layer of pattern paper, and it does tell you on your instructions that if you want to add pattern paper, to do that before you cut your aperture. But because we're working onto the top of the pattern paper, I've actually stamped my little elephant and just fussy cut him ready to go on the front there and fit into that aperture. And then on the second layer, we're going to cut in that little aperture that's just been made a bit smaller. And then because this one's straight onto the card, we can do the stamp into here onto the card and colour him in.
That makes total
sense. So that's
sense.
where we're heading with him. So what we want to do then is line up that aperture on the front. And again, because I'm using my Gemini, I've got no concerns about this cutting through the 2 layers. So decide whereabouts you want it. And again, there's no hard and fast rule about where that needs to be positioned. As long as you've got room to put your little guy down here, then you're okay. And then I'm going to tape it again into the middle because it's the aperture part that's going to come out. Now again, it's one we need to open it up so that it doesn't go through all the layers, and we're going to work with this bit. So we should be able to fit this just about onto our junior plate there, and it is only an outline die, so I'm not too worried about there being too much intricacy there, and that's going to pass through our Gemini. And then we're going to take the next one, and once we've got that aperture, we can see through it and position this one ready on the next layer.
It's no different from doing any other apertures, is it? You always start at the top with the largest aperture and you work your way down. It's the same rule, whatever you're doing,
so
you
can see how
work
this one's
like
going to fit in the gap now. So what I'm going to do is close it again. So this is the layer that folded in from the right hand side now. Close this one, take another little bit of tape, and then you can decide now where you want this one to fit. And I want to actually have it so that it's got a nice little border around the 2 squares there. So I'm going to look at top and the 2 sides and just get that fairly central. Okay. And then once you're happy with it again, tape it into the middle. Try not to trap that layer. But then remember to open it all up before you die cut, otherwise you're going to cut through multiple layers. So again, this time we just want this side. So I've got the piece underneath, I'm just going to cut through that one layer, and we're going to pass that one straight through the Gemini as well. So that's all the die cutting that's involved for the minute, just to do the apertures, and then the stamp sets come in. And as I say, it explains this step by step on your little crib sheet there. So if you're stuck with it at any point, you can just refer back to that one. So you can see now, if we bring this back together, you've got your sort of sets of apertures at the ready. And now we've got that done, we can start and stamp onto this one. So I'm going to bring my stamping platform in again. Pop those to one side for a second. And we're actually going to work on this one. So I'm just going to keep that bit folded in so that we can work on the platform. Okay, get that one in place. And then we need the little guy that's facing that way, which is this one. And then just line him up in that aperture there. All right, so just excuse my head if it goes over the top for a second. Once you've got him in place, we can pick him up and then give him a stamp. So again, I'm just using that same alcohol-proof ink. And then just pop him in to position there. Give him a good press round the edge of that stamp. And he lines up beautifully in that little aperture there at the ready. Okay, now then I just need my grey pen again, which I popped away, and I've still got the pink one out. So we'll just do a little tiny bit of colouring on this one, and then I've got the other one already done. So again, I'm just going to take the light grey, and literally this is smooth like the all-purpose stamping card, so the alcohol pens will go straight onto that cardstock, no problem. Again, same again, lightest bit, lightest colour down first. And don't worry if that first layer looks a bit patchy, because we're always going to go over that with the other layers to do the blending. So again, just take that colour round where you want it. I'm going to do a little bit. And then I'm also going to bring in my pink. So just the very, very light pink, and pop a little bit in here, a little bit on his cheek there. And remember I said a lighter colour will actually bleach out, so that pink will bleach through there. And then take the grey into the rest of it. So I'm not going to do the whole body in one go, because as like I said before, I don't want that to evaporate. So again, same process, flick to the dark. Think about where those shadows are going to be. So again, just going to come round the bottom of his trunk, round the bottom of his face there, into the bottom of his ear with that darker shade. And then flick back to the medium one. And again, just touch the edge of the dark to pull it into that medium layer.
So amazing how quickly you can flick between the colours automatically on your pens, isn't it?
I love these. Do you know, I've got a full set of the Classique markers, and I barely use them now. I nearly always reach for these tri-blends. Because you've got all three of your colours in one pen, it just takes all the work out of it for you.
Doesn't it?
So again, just touching that medium layer now, and then like I said, if it looked patchy, we're going to go over that again anyway with that second layer, just to bring it all together. Don't go over the darker layers, just colour where you've got that lighter shade left. And I've gone over the pink just to dull it a little bit. I just want a hint of the pink in there. And then we're going to do the same. Now that I've got that bit sorted, I can extend that lighter layer. And again, I would take much more time doing this at home, you know, when you've got plenty of time to do the colouring. Okay, so I'm just rushing a little bit here.
It looks perfect from where I am. Absolutely perfect. Lots of time. We've got plenty of time to get through that, but he looks so quick. We've got so many messages. Pam says, Jan, I absolutely love all the demos you've done today. Always love it when you're on. Flora says, look at those cute Dalmatians. Oh, and I think this is Jay Reckham, I think, sorry if I said that wrong. I'm eager for Jan's demos as I have a couple of these Trifold. Oh, Jean, there we go. Eleanor says, I want these animal dyes, especially that Dalmatian. He's so cute. Well, he's any dog you want him to be. Mary said, this is such a cute set too. Looks lovely in my collection. Just need to use it.
Yep.
They're not doing a lot of good in sitting in the
collection. We're all guilty of buying things and then having them stay in the wrappers.
Exactly. Get them out, get them used. You will absolutely love them. Isn't he gorgeous? Just bringing him to life with a little bit of light and shade. Absolutely perfect.
So again, just remembering, the main tip that can give you with the alcohol colouring is not to go over that darker area. If I take this light colour over that darker area now, it's going to take away the fact that you've popped the shading in, and it'll just bleach out that darker colour and take on the form of the light one. So all I'm doing is nudging the edge, and then I'm going over the rest of the light shading that was left. Okay, and then what I like to do when I've finished is just go back to my dark one, and in the very, very edge, just add another bit of the dark right along the line art, just to sort of really give it a little bit of depth. So where you've popped that dark colour in, just a tiny little bit, it doesn't need to be a lot, but it's just sort of that hint of the fact that there's something a bit darker there. So again, where all that shading's gone in, little tiny bits of the darkish shade again, and then we'll pop a little bit of that one. I just happen to have that to hand, just on his little paws, or whatever they're called, feet. Does an elephant have paws? I don't think so. They're feet, aren't they? Yeah, I think paws are meant to be furry, aren't they? So yeah, they're feet. But you can see there how he's coming along.
He's coming
along,
if
you want to sort of brighten any of it up, you can just go over that pink area again. But he's going to be on the inside, so when we've got this closed, he's just going to be peeking through that window, and then we're going to stick this little guy on the front here.
Absolutely gorgeous. This is so cute.
And these are, again, you know, you see this broken down into its elements. They're not difficult to do.
No.
It's just taking it into the different steps. So again, he fits perfectly along that where that aperture's been cut, so that he looks as if he's right on the edge of the aperture there.
It's almost like they're looking in a mirror,
aren't they? Yeah. And then inside in the back, again, you can do as much or as little as you wish. So I've actually got another piece of the pattern paper. So we're going to pop this one right in the back, in the middle.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Janine. She says, this has been a wonderful show. I'm going to let Jan take all the credit for that. But absolutely, it really has. I think we've all learned so much. I've been hanging off Jan's every word about the colouring. I mean, I just love to hear everybody else's take on it. It just really, I learned so much too.
And then I've got a little matten layer, which you can do some more stamping on here, because that's the bit that's going to show through the gap there. All right, so you've got all the extra little stamps there. You've got some little flowers, the butterfly, the little trail for the butterfly. But I've just actually got one of the hearts ready to pop in there for now, because I didn't know how much time we'd have left. So again, I've just got a piece of leftover from one of the other projects to pop in as a matte layer there. Oops. There we go, and then I'm just going to pop that one over the top for now. So again, you could stamp a little scene on there, you might want to put one of the sentiments on there. It's entirely up to you how you construct these. And then what I've done is taken a couple of the sentiments. So I've got, I can't wait to see your face again, and then inside, you mean so much to me. So we're going to pop this one on the inside here, just in the bottom, so that there's a little sentiment on the inside. We've got the little heart is part of the stamp set there. You can see where we've just done that one. So I've got that one on the front there. So that one's going to go down here on the front. And then I've just done another one of those little tiny hearts and coloured it in. It's a little bit tiny to get my tape runner on there, so I'll just pop a little bit of wet glue. And then I'm just going to pop that one for now in here.
Just above their trunks. That looks
you can
lovely.
pop some more detail in there if you wish, but you can see where they get their name from with that trifold, because you've got the 3 parts of the card there that open 1, 2, 3, okay? And then obviously it will stand just as a normal card at the front there. They really are cute. There's definitely,
really are, aren't they?
definitely been a cute factor on there tonight,
I think they
hasn't
have put this show together absolutely fantastically for us with all of those cute animals. Right, let's have a look at what Jan has done in this show. Yes, Rosalind, couldn't agree more. Where has the time gone? Yes. They're absolutely brilliant. So let's have a look. Where have we got? So first one, our Circle of Life, as somebody called it.
I know, I like that. The Circle of Life, that was
Absolutely
great, wasn't
perfect.
it? So that was with the cute characters. Now these are actually, the concept are edgeables. And if you look back to the show that we did this morning, I showed you how to cut those on the edge with the little tigers and the lions. But this time I've just added my scissors to the bottom to cut them out totally and make them freestanding. So that was number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 was the little teddy bear box. So again, we've got that front section, but when you open it, you've got all those little bears in there having a party.
Lot of love for that one too.
So those are the cute character boxes.
I'm glad I'm not picking on this.
Number 3 was the
wall plaque.
the animals with attitude there. So we've just made that little name plaque for my little Toby. And
Brilliant.
then number 4 was those gorgeous little trifold, and we used the little elephants there to create that trifold aperture. So that was number 4 there.
Absolutely perfect. I love these. I'm glad I'm not picking. Flora says, thank you for teaching us and bringing us joy while we are watching. I smile every time that I see those cute dies. Right, now if you could pick 1, 2, 3 or 4, and then we can put that into with us for our demo of the day. We haven't got very many minutes, so while you decide and our Susie counts up those votes, we'll quickly remind you on this Weekend Saver mystery bag. It's not such a mystery because I'm showing you bits and pieces. Now this has content that if you added up the individual prices, it comes to £101.93 or $120.65. You can have this today for £30 or $40, but remember that price is going to go down even further just down there if you are a platinum member. Wow, you're going to get all 7, all 7 of these for £24, $32 if you're a platinum member. We've already had a look at our twirling birds. We've already seen our vintage bird cage. You've got your lovebirds, that's a creator card with the birds hanging down in the middle. Absolutely fantastic. We've got our birds and bloom, which I love this. I just love how this can come over the edge, the right, the left, or over the top. And then we've got our hummingbird as well. And as I mentioned, there are 2 more packs. Let's have a quick look. You have got your flying by to say hi and your beautiful bird cage. That's a crafter card. That beautiful bird cage is another £15. The total on all of these is £101.93. You can get this for as low as £24 or $32 if you are a platinum member. Absolutely fantastic. We've definitely gone over a third of the stock of that gone. This is available till tomorrow night, so don't miss that. So which one are we looking at next, please? Cute characters, right. We haven't quite got our winner yet, so while that's coming through, we'll have a look at this. So this is your cute characters, which is where we started off. 9 sets, normally $6.99 each, but you're going to get it today for this amazing price with 20% off. These only launched on the 4th of April, and with these sold out so quickly. You've got your Positively Perfect. You have got your Sun Bunny Special, and you can see we've got the same configuration all the way through with the stamps and the dies. You've got your Reach for the Sky. You've got your an Elephantastic Day. You have your Pride and Joy. You also have your Just Because. Your You Make Me Happy. Sorry if I'm going through these fast, but time is running away with us. We've got Nuts About You. And finally, you've got your utterly amazing. Now, this is yours today for £48.93 or $62.95. Right, now, the winner of the demo of the show is, and I'm not surprised, number 1.
The circle of life.
Perfect. Yep.
There
right.
we go.
Could I quickly
put it
borrow
in the
that
middle.
off you? Oh, right. Sorry.
There we go.
Camera. So where I'm coming back. Right. So we have. Let's do it in order of our shows. We have our first one, number 1, using those gorgeous, cute characters, our pride and. Oh, sorry. Let me bring it back where you can actually see it. Our pride and joy. The second one we had was those apertures. Absolutely gorgeous. So those were those box dies, but Jan took it out there. Look at that.
The
with that.
pop-out ones,
The
yeah.
pop-out ones. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I'm loving that. And then our third one is our circle of life with all of those animals. So can you please choose 1, 2 or 3? Let me move those up a bit so that you can see them. 1, 2 or 3. 2 minutes to do that, so don't take long to do, and Susie will count that up. Cute character boxes. I think I've got this one right. Let me lay this down. Wow, I've got so much under there you wouldn't believe. Right, so this one is fantastic. Look at the price. We had to show you this again. £11.98 or $15.54, or the unbelievable price of £9.58, $12.43 if you're a platinum member. You're going to get all 3. That's not the single price that you've got to then pick which one you want. That is the price for all 3. You've got your birthday bears, and Jan showed you how easy the box is to put together in this. Full instructions in the die pack, but you can then just put them in there. But remember, you could just be using them as apertures, shaker cards, however you wanted to. You've got your Oceans of Love. I do love this. I think, yeah, loads of little girls are going to love this. I love the goldfish bowl that you've got for your aperture. And then finally, you've got your box filled with glitter. Imagine this as a shaker card full of glitter and sequins. It's just going to look amazing. Don't forget, for each of these, you've got your stamps and you've got your dies. You're getting 68 elements between your stamps and your dies and your aperture dies. You've got so much in there. Right, we're still on the previous one. I haven't got the demo of the day through just yet. So where should we have a quick look while we've got time? Right, now, tomorrow, I'm over where Jan is, and you've got Ben here tomorrow, so bit of order is restored. We have got an absolutely amazing, I am so excited about this. I actually woke up thinking about this morning. We have our floral outline stamps. I'm so excited. I can't believe we've got this brand new launching during our Colour Me Happy show tomorrow. This is the first, I think they might have been on Hobby Maker, but this is the first time they have been here. You haven't actually seen these. This is our first Crafters TV launch of these. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful stamps. Got some great techniques doing that. That's at 11. Come on, Johnny, you're going to have to tell me what I've got after that because I've forgotten. I forgot we've got a craft along. We've got another craft along. This is on gorgeous edger dies. I've got a gorgeous grande edgeables. We've got a gorgeous stepper, and I've got one that's going to bow out on the front. And then Gilmore is going to join us for that. I've not met her before. And then it's our Second Chance Sunday, and I've got demos planned from all across the whole week, absolutely the whole week. So that's going to be really exciting. Now, just remember, until midnight tomorrow night, so you haven't got that long left, if you spend £30, $40 on anything, and that's after your club discount, you are going to get this free die worth £29.99 or $39.95. Right, demo of the day goes to, which one do we think? 1, 2 or 3. What's your prediction, Jan?
Maybe number 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Circle of Life.
Circle of Life.
Yeah.
That's our demo of the day. So I shall put that on the shelf. It won't go missing. I promise. It will be included tomorrow evening.
I shall have my eye out
She'll
on
be
you
watching.
tomorrow.
She'll be watching. I hope you can join us. It's been a bit fast-paced, but we've had so much to show you. Jan has given us the most amazing demos, the love that goes on here. Mary Rena says, I was thrilled the day I stumbled across this Crafters TV channel. I mean, that just gives me goosebumps when I read things like that.
I know, there's
Thank
so
you for
many people watching, aren't there? Yeah.
Thank you for being so lovely and joining us. We love it. We hope you love it too. We've had a great day. I love these cute animals. Cuteness overload, card shapes overload. It's been a fantastic day. Thank you for putting up with me over here. I promise you Ben's back tomorrow. We're going to have a lovely day tomorrow, and then I can go home, go into a darkened room. I promised my husband I'm sitting outside, even if it's raining and snowing on Monday, I'm sitting out in the garden because I've missed the sunshine. But thank you for joining us. Have the rest of a lovely evening. If you are in England, tune into that Eurovision, because I'm sure we're going to be talking about it loads tomorrow. So yeah, and next week when Joe's back, it'll either be not mentioned or it's going to be loads.
He'll either be over the moon running round, or he's going to be traumatised, isn't he? One or the other.
I know, he was so excited when he finished yesterday. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for your purchases. We love showing you this and giving you some inspiration, and we hope that you can take something away from that. And we will leave you now, and we will be back tomorrow, 11 o'clock UK time, 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific time. We'll be there on the dot. It'll be me, still with Johnny and Charlotte, but I'll have Ben here with me as well. So until then, have a lovely, lovely evening, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Good night.